Group A has finished. The last round of games were completed earlier on today. Uruguay versus Russia and Saudi Arabia versus Egypt. And we know our teams going through to the round of 16. They are Uruguay and Russia, the two teams that happen to be playing each other today. Not that it mattered anyway, because we did know after the second round of games in this group that they were both going to be progressing. It was just what position would they be in. It turned out that Uruguay, as you all know if you did see, if not you missed it, they beat Russia 3-0. They disposed of them pretty easily. Russia went down to 10 men in around the 30th minute, and from then on in, Uruguay just managed to close out, and they've won the group as a result of that. The other fixture was a shootout for who would be the third best team, and then of course who was going to be left as a kind of real disappointment in the group, Saudi Arabia and Egypt. Personally, I would have said Egypt, you know, with some of their players. I have El Neni, the king of Egypt, Mohamed Salah as well, saying that he was back now from his shoulder injury that he got in the Champions League final. But no, Saudi Arabia managed to do the goods and they won 2-1. I'm pleasantly surprised, but they did it. Fair play to them. They won, they finished third, and Egypt have crashed and burned out in fourth place. I really don't know what to say. I thought they were going to come in second. That's what I had in my predictions, and I will get onto that later on. But yeah, I'm just really shocked. Looking at the group as an overall, I've decided to think who's been my standout player in Group A, who's really done the business, and for me it was Denis Cheryshev. He wasn't even intended to be a starter for Russia, but he managed to come in that first match. I can't remember who got injured. I think it might have been Zagoev for Russia, and Cheryshev came in, managed to score in the first game, scored another 2 in the second game, and he really was a catalyst for that Russian team. You could give a mention to Golovin as well. He was really good, very promising for a youngster, and a lot of people are interested in him. I did a video on him as well, kind of talking about him. Make sure you check that out. I'll leave it in the description. But back to Denis Cheryshev. He has just done really well, and fair play to him. He did score an own goal in the game against Uruguay today, but you can't really do much about that. In terms of other players, I wouldn't really say there's been any special mentions for Egypt or Saudi Arabia. Mohamed Salah did the best he could. He was injured, probably still not 100% fit, but what can you do about that? Saudi Arabia, I don't really think there's anybody that stood out too well. They did well to beat Egypt, but that's about it. And Uruguay, again, just a really solid team performance. Suarez really probably let the team down at the beginning. The first game, he was very, very poor, very vacant in fact, and just didn't really turn up at all. But it's probably a good thing. Their whole team is playing really well together, and still Cavani and Suarez both aren't firing on all cylinders yet, so they're definitely something to be scared for in the next round. The next round is where we go to next. Who are these teams going to be playing up against? Well, Uruguay will be playing second place in the group that contains Spain, Portugal, Iran, and I can't remember the other team, Morocco. Yes, I can, but it doesn't matter too much. And then obviously second place will play it up against first. They're playing later on. They may actually be playing now, or the game may well be finished, but at the time of doing this, they're playing in a few hours. It is Spain versus Morocco, which I think should be an easy victory for Spain, which will probably mean that they finish first in the group and play whoever's second, and then Portugal versus Iran. Whoever wins this match is going to go through. I'd like to see Iran do it just because it'll be a shock, but it will probably be Portugal. So we could see Portugal versus Uruguay in the next round and Spain versus Russia. It's going to be an interesting one. Uruguay have definitely got a very good chance to progress. Not so sure about the other one. Spain are starting to gather form, but we'll get to that later on. I will do another video probably later on tonight, maybe even tomorrow, going through Group B and what I think about that as well. Before we get towards the end of the video, we will quickly run through my predictions, what I thought was going to happen before the tournament. I did a video, check that out. That will also be in the description, and what actually happened. We know Uruguay topped the group. We had Russia in second, then Saudi Arabia in third, and Egypt in fourth. What were my predictions? I will put a little screenshot up on the screen, probably maybe about here, wherever, I don't know. I had Uruguay in first place, so I was correct with that, 1 out of 4. Second place though, I had Egypt. What happened? Mohamed Salah and your boys, you let me down. I had them there, and it just didn't work out. Third place, we had Russia, so they were kind of within one place, and then fourth, we had Saudi Arabia. Who knew that it would happen? Egypt were the ones that let me down, so really out of that, I only had 1 out of 4 in the group stage. Not really great. And last of all, I'm just going to share a bit of knowledge with you. Why not? I will bring out a bit of knowledge for every single group stage, group recap that we do, so that'll be about 8 different facts. How exciting. Essam El Hadari. I think I got that right. I'll chuck up a picture of him. You can see him right there. Turns out he's actually become the oldest ever player to play in a World Cup. He's the goalkeeper for Egypt, and 45 years old. That is impressive. He did concede 2, they did lose 2-1, but Egypt as a team weren't great. Anyway, I think that will be it for today. I hope you did all enjoy. I hope you enjoyed my little recap. I'm going to have more to come. Let me know if you want me to talk about anything else as I gradually get through all of the groups, and then eventually we'll probably move on to some reviews of the knockout stage rounds, everything like that. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, stay subscribed, and as always, I will see you all on the next video.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true.